Hello everyone and welcome to this YouTube video all about choosing a combined terrestrial and marine research assistant expedition. So many of our volunteers are particularly interested in our combined trips, so doing a little bit of terrestrial and then a little bit of marine research. It's the choice that I picked back in 2019 when I went on my first opal trip, and I loved being able to do a little bit of both, so having that introduction to both kind of areas of research. As with anything, there are a few things that you're going to want to have a little think about when hopefully narrowing down your choice and deciding which expedition is best for you. That's kind of what this video is going to help you out with. First kind of question you're always going to want to start with is what research interests you. So you're probably watching this video and you're thinking to yourself, oh, well, I'm interested in both terrestrial and marine. This is a brilliant option for you then, because you can have a combination of the two. But, for example, you might have always dreamed of seeing the Big Five. So that'll help narrow down your choice. You're going to want to go to South Africa. Another little thing you're going to want to think about is how long it is that you would like to go for. And obviously, third and finally, where in the world would you like to go, which is arguably the most exciting aspect to have a think about. So that first question, what research interests you? Obviously, if you're watching this, probably interested in both terrestrial and marine research, but maybe you've always wanted to go visit a cloud forest. So in that case, pop on over to Honduras. Maybe you're more interested in terrestrial research and you'd just like to tag on a little bit of time at the end of your expedition to complete your open water. That's also an option. So these are the kind of questions you want to be thinking about to help narrow down your choice. Next up, length of your expedition. So how long it is that you would like to go for. So for our combined expeditions, we have 2, 4 and 6 week options available. It is just worth noting here that it's not an equal split for all of our expeditions. So for some, if you go for 4 weeks, it is 2 weeks terrestrial and 2 weeks marine. For others, it might be a 3-to-1 split. So remember, you can always take a look at our brochure for all of the various options available, or give the office a call if you've got any questions at all. I'd say probably one of our most popular expeditions is a 4-week combined terrestrial and marine. As I mentioned previously, that's the one I did when I went to Indonesia, 2 weeks in the forest and 2 weeks on Hoga learning to dive. And I absolutely loved it. It was the brilliant choice for me personally at the time. So just have a little think about what it is that you would like to achieve from your expedition and how you can make the most of your time on site. Third thing, obviously, is where in the world it is that you would like to go. So as you can see from this map here, we've got sites all over the globe, from Mexico to Indonesia. We're very excited in 2023 to be reopening our Indonesia and Madagascar sites post-COVID. All I'm going to do now is briefly just go through each of these sites that we've got that offer that combined option for you, and try and tell you some unique aspects for each one. So first off, we have got Honduras. When you go to the forest site, you'll be going to Casuco. It's a site rich in endemic and endangered species, but it's threatened by unchecked illegal deforestation. Casuco National Park is one of the top 50 most irreplaceable protected areas in the world, and the cloud forest ecosystem there is just incredible. When you go to the marine site, you will be going to Utila or Tela. So we've got 2 marine sites there. It was Opwell's flagship Caribbean marine research site, with a large focus on integrating technology into coral reef research. So there's a wide variety of research projects that you can get involved with, studying the core issues affecting the biodiversity of coral reefs. Next site to tell you about is Mexico. So here at the forest, you will be in Calakmul. In Calakmul, they're monitoring the impact of climate change on the wildlife of the largest protected area in Mexico. There's lots of projects to get involved with there, from monkeys to Mayan ruins. So if you've always dreamed of maybe seeing some Mayan ruins, this might be a really good option for you to go for. At the marine site, you are based in Acamau. And here they are focusing on assessing the efficacy of the newly formed Acamau Marine Protected Area. So this is a really great site for anybody interested in turtle ecology and also seagrass ecosystems. Slightly limited by the amount of marine research done here dive-based. A lot of it is snorkeling, so that could be a deciding factor for yourself. Next site to tell you about is our site in Croatia. So in the forest, you would be based in the Krka Valley National Park. This is an endemic rich site located within the Mediterranean biodiversity hotspot. So a lot of the surveys there are baseline standardized monitoring surveys to kind of increase the known biodiversity levels within the area and collect some long-term monitoring data in order for us to answer some crucial management questions. There's the opportunity to visit some caves, which are amazing. They look really cool. And there's also some research done with the Hermann's tortoise, which you can see pictured here. So they, again, could be a couple of little deciding points for you. In terms of the marine site, you will move over to Silba Island. It's a beautiful island. No cars are allowed there. So it's a very peaceful, tranquil site. The objective for our partners on the island is to try and develop the first marine research centre for Northern Dalmatia, and they have a series of research projects on seagrass, sea urchins, protected species and fisheries, as well as marine plastics. There is limited research to get involved with yourself individually, but there is beautiful crystal clear water, and it is a really amazing site to first learn how to scuba dive. It's a very popular choice for people that are completing their open water course. Next up, we've got our South Africa expedition. So in terms of the terrestrial side of things, you would be heading over to the Gondwana Game Reserve. Obviously, this is the optimal site with the most abundant terrestrial megafauna. A lot of the work done is assisting conservation managers with pressing large-scale issues within the game reserve. You'd get involved with some bush training, obvious megafauna sighting opportunities, and the opportunity to work on foot in a Big 5 reserve. It just looks incredible, and the wildlife that you can see there is just amazing. Obviously, on the marine side of things, you would then be heading over to Sodwana Bay. At this site, you can learn to dive or complete a reef ecology course. There isn't actually any research carried out here, it's just offering those basic courses. You would be snorkeling and diving within a UNESCO World Heritage Site, however, and again, the marine life that you can see there is just second to none. It's fantastic, but could be a deciding factor because there isn't marine research there. It's simply completing one of those courses. Next site is Indonesia. I'm going to try not to be too biased here, but it was the first site that I visited, so it's got a special place in my heart. In terms of the terrestrial side of things, you would be heading over to North Camp in Areke, which is Buton on Buton Island. It's home to some important flagship species, such as the anoa. We'd be resuming biodiversity assessments over there when we first go in 2023, so kind of helping get everything back on track post-COVID. There'd be a little bit of jungle training as well. The way I always described it to everyone was terrestrial research, but Bear Grylls style. It is worth just noting here that if you do the 4-week option in Indonesia, it would only be 1 week terrestrial and then 3 weeks at our marine site. So in terms of the marine side of things, you would be heading over to Hoga Island. And it's actually the most published research site in the Coral Triangle. So when we go back over in 2023, we're going to be resuming long-term monitoring and management of the reefs. And it was Opwal's flagship site in Indonesia. So it really is a stunning site to go to, and it really does offer you the best of both worlds and a lot of different amazing wildlife to see and research to get involved with. And the last site to tell you about is our site in Madagascar, which again, we're super excited to be going back there in 2023 post-COVID. In terms of the forest site, you would be in the Mahamavo forest site. 90% of all animals and plants found on Madagascar are endemic to the island. So instantly the huge levels of endemism there are sometimes a selling point for some students. The weird, wacky and wonderful can all be found in Madagascar. What we're doing there is we're monitoring how forest structure and biodiversity in community managed forest is changing over time. So obviously, already mentioned it, but it's great for endemic species. Obviously, lemurs found only on Madagascar, and it's also a really great site for herpetofauna. So if you're interested particularly in herps, it could be a good choice for you. In terms of the marine side of things, you would be heading over to Nosy Be, collecting baseline data on the reefs there, including fish communities and coral cover. A little bit similar to our South Africa site in the respect that there's limited marine research, but it is a spectacular place to learn how to dive. I've not been there yet myself, but it's definitely high up on the list of OPWL sites that I would love to try and visit in the near future. Thank you very much for watching this video. I hope you found it informative and helpful, and it's either helped to answer some of your questions or got you super excited about some of our expeditions. For more information, please follow us on social media. You can always give the office a phone call as well, or drop us an email. We hopefully will hear from you soon, and we look forward to seeing you in the field as well. Thank you.